Pick of my bike stored at Ray's. Well, guys, I was looking for a camping place near Wroclaw. It's the Wroclaw in Poland, and I found this place on the internet. So it was about half hour, 45 minutes from the city. So I decided to go out and take a look. I found out that the campsite had been closed for a couple of years, but the guy that was there invited me to put up my tent anyways, that I could stay and camp. And I asked him how much, and he said, nothing. You're going to stay and you can camp for free. So I pitched up my tent, and I ended up staying there for about 4 days. The guy in charge, his name is Daniel, and the guy that was with him, his worker, and that is Marrick. They invited me for something to eat, and I accepted gladly. I end up having a very traditional spread you put on bread. It's made from lard and baked pork bits, from what I understood. Also, he had some cabbage soup, which is all very traditional, very Polish kind of meal, and it was actually really good. The spread was surprisingly really. I really liked it, but I seem to remember my grandfather used to do something similar than that, and but you don't see that anymore. So we end up sitting around and eating and drinking and talking, and it was very enjoyable. At one point, I had mentioned that I started a YouTube channel, and that I kind of would like uh, to put my phone out and record our conversation, but it just didn't seem right. It just didn't seem like it fit. And one of the things that was mentioned to me was that it's because you start to think of yourself as like a reporter and not really in the moment. So I decided not to do it, which was a real shame because it's really one of the major reasons why I like to travel is speaking with people and talking and just hearing different opinions and being giving a different point of view, like on for instance the Polish experience during the Second World War and what have you. But not only that, about the alcohol, about the Polish vodka, and about vodka as a whole. It was all very very interesting, and it's all I can say is. Uh, for these guys to just get out there and travel and meet people. That's the best way because you're really missing out. Yeah, so I was out for a ride to go to a tower, and when I looked out to my right, I saw these hills. So I checked out my GPS. And I saw a little squiggly line coming up here, and I decided to come up here instead. It was a it was a nice ride. I don't know if it shows as well on the video. It's a little bit wet when you get in the trees because it rained last night, so you had to go a little bit slower, but it was still pretty enjoyable. And I had stopped off before I came up into the hills to pick up some food, so now I'm stopping off and having a bite to eat before I head back to the campground. Yeah, so dinner ended up being about 100 grams of cheese, Gouda, and about 100 grams of this meat. It's a type of kielbasa, I guess, and and a excuse me, a garlic bread bun. The garlic bread bun was on sale, so that's why I got it. And so was the cheese was on sale. And yeah, so that's what I decided to have. I knew I wanted just to have some bread and cheese and meat, and it's good because when I buy stuff that's on sale, usually it's something different. I won't say every time, but as a general rule, it's a little bit different. So it kind of you're not always going to eat exactly what you eat before, and it gets you to have a little bit of a variety and save a couple of pennies at the same time. Anyways, I guess I'm gonna head back to the camp now. Okay, thanks, guys. Well, I couldn't find the video that I had made to go up through the hills and that, but so I just put this here one in. I like it because the of the trees on the side of the road there. It makes for a really nice ride. As I mentioned before, it's probably not going to be as it's not really going to show us the true. A true representation of it. It's a really enjoyable ride. It's a really good ride. But I hope you guys enjoy. Daniel had taken me down into the mine. Unfortunately, I was feeling a little bit under the weather. I had bought a bottle of vodka. I thought it was a Polish vodka, but I found out that it was a Polish vodka name before, but then had been bought out by I think French. He said, and it's not as good as it once was. But we still drank it. Anyways, I was I was feeling a little bit rough in the morning, so I didn't really take that many pictures. But going down into mine, it was pretty interesting. It was pretty nice because he had mentioned that you would feel you would feel better down in the mine because of the higher oxygen content. And when I went down, I noticed that I felt better, but not not really to that large of an extent. But where I really noticed it is when we came back up, because then my not that I was feeling a little bit hungover, but then all that started to come back, and then it was really okay. Yeah, I was really feeling good down there. When I came back up, it was like, yeah, I have to take a nap. But anyways, I really appreciated that little tour down there, and thanks to Daniel for that. People from the area like to come out to the mine site here and pick up the water. They're actually starting a new business. That's why they closed the campsite, and they're going to be putting CBD into the water and exporting it to outside of Poland because it's not illegal. It's not legal to sell in Poland, but it's legal for them to produce it. So they're going to start producing that and sending it to North America and the rest of Europe, I guess. But this is a picture of some local people just coming to pick up water. People are coming all the time to pick up the water here, and it was really good, really refreshing. And just a last note there. The day that I was a little bit hungover too, I went to make myself some coffee, and I had run out of fuel, and I've forgotten to put. I usually carry some extra little bit of fuel with me for my stove. Anyways, it would have been like a 20-minute, almost a half-hour drive to pick up fuel, and then another 20 minutes to come back, 20 minutes to pick it up. So it was about an hour, and I was like, I really didn't feel like driving out there and spending an hour doing this. And then I came up with this idea of scooping some out of my bike, because I know I'd just finished topping up my bike there, and I made this little scoop out of an old bottle, a plastic bottle, and yeah, it took about 5 or 6 little dips to take some fuel out, but it was enough for me to make myself coffee and a breakfast. Anyways, it was just another little thing that you come up with. It's a you know it's a it came out of being lazy or necessity or whatever. But anyways, I just thought I'd throw that in.